What's up, everybody? It is DJ The Sports Blur, and I am back. Took a break for about a couple of weeks. Missed the first week of college football, man. Can y'all believe that? Here I am slacking on my job, being lazy. Hope y'all miss me, though. Sharon Moore, please come to the front of the congregation. I would love to have a word with you right now. Where were you? Where were you this game? I mean, this was supposed to be the game for Michigan this year, right? They rolled into Norman, Oklahoma after they smoked New Mexico New Mexico State last week. That game itself told me everything that I need to know going into this game. I really thought that Michigan was going to lose this game 27-24. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer. Oklahoma did everything in their power to keep Michigan in this game. They really did. I mean, a muff punt, a bad interception, a terrible rough. When's the last time y'all have seen roughing the kicker? I felt like Oklahoma was doing everything they could to keep Michigan in this game. But let's go back to Sharon Moore. Where were you? I mean, your offensive line, they played mediocre. Your secondary played mediocre. The play calling was mediocre. There were no noticeable adjustments. Oklahoma, in my opinion, dominated this game from start to finish. Now, you think going into a place like Oklahoma, you're an alumni, you were a great player at Oklahoma, you wanted to prove a statement, and you didn't. The only statement that you proved is that I've been right all about you the whole time. You're a mediocre head coach. No adjustments. This is my problem with Michigan in general. They have no identity right now. They're just out there playing football. And their coach, who just lost one of the biggest games of his career, at least in the regular season, is going to be suspended for the next 2 games once that plane lands and touches back down in Ann Arbor. He's not going to be able to do anything because he was cheating. So you have a coach that was cheating, who's trying to build a culture of winning, and now your true quarterback who really desperately needs you after a loss like this, you're going to be nowhere for him. Incredible. This is Michigan football in a nutshell, y'all. This is Michigan football in a nutshell. And speaking of your true freshman quarterback, now, I've made a video. I'll put it right here. You guys already know my thoughts about Bryce Underwood. I think he has all the talent in the world, but y'all, he's still a true freshman. And to put your true freshman in a spot like that where he has to go on the road and play that kind of team, and you didn't surround him with the talent that he needs. So if you're a true freshman, no problem, you can play, but your talent around you has to be elite if you're going to be anything in college football. Bryce Underwood, this game went 9 for 24, 142 yards, no touchdowns. Now, 44 of those yards came on one play, so that means he was 8 for 23 for 98 yards if you take out that one play. Michigan, what are you guys doing up there? You see, you're supposed to at least have 1 or 2 quarterbacks that's been with the program for 2 or 3 years, right? That means they're a junior. That means they're a senior. When you bring that 5-star recruit in, that guy's waiting for his time, right? But you developed your quarterback in a way to have, 1 or 2 guys that's been there for 3-4 years. They're a redshirt junior, whatever. They're a senior. Their only job is to make it through the next year, so that quarterback that's a 5-star that you guys brought in will be ready. Not to throw the 5-star out into the fire and just say, hey, you're going to get better. We need you right now, though. This is how you're going to get better. That's the problem with Michigan. That's another problem with Michigan. They never had the transition guy. Every program is supposed to have a transition guy. Ohio State's transition guy just happened to be a portal guy from last year, and his name was Will Howard. But you need that veteran because on the road, when things get shaky, you need that guy to step up. Now, there's a couple of things that Bryce Underwood did well. I mean, his numbers are terrible. But the one thing that I saw, every time he takes off to run, he's still looking downfield, right? He's still trying to make a play. He's still got his eyes down the field. And a couple of times it actually worked. Some of his best plays came from those type of passes. The only thing about Bryce Underwood right now and what he's struggling with as his development as a as a quarterback, he only knows how to throw the football one way. 5-yard pass or 15-yard pass. He's throwing it as hard as he can to get things. He's Brett Favre. And when you don't have the skilled players that are going to step up and make a play for Brett Favre Underwood, it's pretty evident. where are the skill players for Michigan? I keep hearing about this kid, Donovan McCulley, right? This 6'5" transfer in that they transferred in through the portal. Where was he? I mean, he had a decent game, I guess. Three catches for 91 yards. Again, 44 yards of that came on one play, but I'm not going to beat him up. But on paper, Justice Haynes, I can't talk today, y'all. But I'm on a roll. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying this video. And if you're here, like, comment, subscribe. Anyways, on paper, Justice Haynes, man, he had a great game. 19 carries, 125 yards, 1 touchdown. But when you go back and look at the game, 75 yards of that came on one play, came right out of halftime, and I was like, okay, Michigan might be onto something. And maybe these are the adjustments that I was looking for. Nope. If you take again that one carry from away from Justice Haynes, he was 18 carries for 50 yards. That ain't gonna cut it, especially when you have a true quarterback on the road in Norman, Oklahoma. That ain't gonna cut it, and you know that, Justice. Now, only 3 wide receivers from Michigan caught passes. I told you Donovan McCulley, he went 3 for 91. Shannon Goodwin, 1 for 25. Samaj Morgan, 1 for 19, and he was out of the game pretty early, or 1 for 12, excuse me. He was out of the game pretty early. Looks like he got a concussion. I'm not going to say it looked like a cheap hit. I don't think it was a cheap shot, but I do think he got sandwiched in between 2 defenders. I think they could have pulled back, to be honest with you. Nonetheless, 3 wide receivers caught a pass for Michigan, and 2 of those wide receivers only caught 1 pass. You got to have some variety. You got to diversify it a little bit, man. You got to keep the defense honest. Michigan thought they were just going to run the ball and out physical Oklahoma, and to their detriment, it didn't work that way. Oklahoma was ready. They were stacking 6, 7, 8 guys in the box and saying, "You guys got a true freshman quarterback over there. You're gonna have to prove it. You're gonna have to prove you can beat us." Now, I'll say this too. Brett Venables needed this win. I thought Michigan was going to lose this game because I think, to me, going into this game, I felt like Oklahoma needed this game more. I mean, Oklahoma had some times last year where they were just down in the dumps. I don't think Oklahoma's even repaired themselves since Lincoln Riley left. I mean, Lincoln Riley was a great offensive mind. He goes over to USC. Obviously, you guys see what he does. Takes a couple of guys with him. Caleb Williams with one of them. And so they're like, let's just get Brent Venables, right? Let's be the complete opposite. Let's get a guy who's defensive. Let's get a guy who puts defense first. Doesn't really look like he knows what to do with offense, but, we're just going to trust that Brent Venables can at least get some good offensive guys in here to at least right the ship, and then our defense is going to, carry the load. Brent Venables has been absolutely atrocious. Sharon Moore, you lost to a coach that's been even worse than you, man. Congratulate yourself, Sharon Moore. Not only are you cheating, you just lost to a worse head coach. But I thought that Oklahoma needed this game. I thought they were going to come out and beat Michigan 27-24, just because their backs are truly up against the wall. Their head coach, he needed one and he got one. And his quarterback, Johnny Mateer, man, he delivered. That kid is a stud, man. I don't know what he's going to do on the next level, but he's one of those guys that you look at in college and you're like, he's just a good college quarterback. Tim Tebow is another one of those guys. Now, obviously, Mateer is not as good as Tim Tebow, but he's one of those guys you look at and you're like, that kid is just a special playmaker in college. And then there's one other player that I want to highlight as well. Wide receiver for Oklahoma. Excuse me, I'm trying to fight a cold. Deion Burks. 7 receptions, 101 yards, 1 touchdown. He was an absolute force coming into that first half. I mean, you could tell they were just trying to get him the ball. Now, why do I bring him up? He was a guy who wanted to go to Michigan. He is from Michigan, right? Wanted to go to Michigan and never got recruited. Michigan is missing a lot of talent. Michigan's recruiting is kind of all over the place. You look up, they have like a top 10, recruiting class every year, but they're Michigan. They should be top 5. They should be up there with Ohio State every year, and I'm not sure why not. They have the facilities, they have the name recognition, they have the cash, the prestige, they have everything that Ohio State should have. but Ohio State is always right here to Michigan, right? The only thing that Michigan has right now is just the record saying that you guys are beating Ohio State. That means absolutely nothing in the landscape of college football. Michigan fan, you need to wake up and realize that. All right, I'm done ranting for the day, man. What y'all think? Was I preaching? Was I spitting? Was I off? Am I tripping? Here I am rapping. Don't even mean to rap, man. If you're still here, like, comment, subscribe, man. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Have a good night. We get to watch some NFL football tomorrow, y'all. Take care.